Yes, welcome back to Metric Hub. Thank you so much for connecting and following the channel. Keep on sharing and subscribing so that you keep on posted on every video that we are going to do and that is going to be shared on the channel and the platform. So I'm bringing to you today some quick revision work that I'm sure that is going to help you in your readiness for end of year. Just follow and see. It is 70 marks, 120 minutes. And basically, most of that, as you can see from from the board there, is grade 9. So yeah, without wasting any time, I'm just going to go to the questions that we are going to go to the questions and answer the questions that are following. So we have got the instructions. You have you will receive 15 minutes reading time. I'm sure that what I'm just basically saying here is that when you go to exam, always read the instructions and understand that each question might have different instructions. So please quickly note that every time when you are writing exam, you always have to read and understand the instructions as much as you can, and don't use any other colors. When you are writing exam, you are always recommended to use blue or black pen and don't use any other colors in the exam. So now question number 1, section A, it reads like, uh, what is contact force? Or we can say define contact force. Contact force, it is force exerted when two bodies are touching each other. It is force exerted when two bodies are touching each other, which you can see that the answer is what? It is B. Contact force is the force exerted when two bodies are touching each other. Then the answer is B. And next question is saying, what are the similarities between magnetic and electrostatic force? The similarities between the two are the objects attract and repel each other in terms of magnetic force and then electrostatic force. The similarity is that the objects they attract and also repel each other. I'm sure that you remember when we look at magnetism. So what I'm saying in electrostatic force, so we are saying they are objects that attract and repel each other, which is also letter B. Which one of the following is a unit of force? Which one of the following is the unit of force? Force is measured in what? In newtons. Force is measured in newtons. Newtons is the units of what? Of force. Anyway, I'm sure that you understand to say when we are talking about weight done, we are talking about weight, we are talking about gravity, we are talking about whatsoever. The units at this level, they are always very important. You need to know them. You need to know them by heart and you need to always know before you go to exams. The diagram below shows an object resting on the table, which is given there. And then we have got a question there. What is the force that a surface exerts on an object with which it is in contact and acts perpendicular to the surface of the object? So when the question is like that, what we are saying is that the force that a surface exerts on an object, which it is in contact with. We are saying it is in contact with it and it acts perpendicular. As you see there, it acts perpendicular to the surface of the object. So what we are saying is that it is a normal force that actually weighs there. We are saying the force that is exerted there is a normal force. It is a normal force that is actually exerted in that sense. And then study the diagram and answer the question that follows. We have got a magnetic field, and then where is the magnetic field the strongest? Where is the magnetic field the strongest? So as you can see here, I'm saying you should understand that the closer the lines, the closer the magnetic field closer to each other, the stronger, the more strong they are. So we are saying, where is it strong? So it is strong where the magnetic field lines are close to each other. Where the magnetic fields are close to each other, that is where the magnetic field is the strongest, which is letter C. Which is letter C. Next question. A force is exerted on the trolley. Force B, which is less than force A, is now also exerted on the same direction. You see, a force is exerted on the trolley. Force B, which is less than force A, it is less than force A, is less than force A is now also exerted on the same direction as shown in the diagram. Of course, you see that is what the diagram is showing. What is the effect of two forces on the trolley? What is the effect of two forces on the trolley? A, the trolley will experience a force that is less than that of force A in the same direction. Not really. The force will experience a force that is more than that of force A in the same direction. The force will experience, the trolley will experience a force that is more than that of force A in the same direction. Of course, as you see that B is also pushing to the same direction, so the answer should be what? Should be to say that the trolley will experience a force that is greater than that of force A in the same direction. A rock has a mass of 100 kg on Earth. It is now placed on Mercury, which is the smallest planet in our solar system. Which is the smallest planet in our solar system. And then, what is the mass of the rock on Mercury? What is the mass of the rock on Mercury? So we are saying it is 100 kgs on Earth, and it is now placed on Mercury, which is smallest planet on the solar system. So what is the mass of the rock on Mercury? So the mass of the rock will be less than that what is on the Earth. Not really. The mass of the rock will be more than that than it was on Earth. Not exactly. The mass of the rock will be 0 on Mercury. Not really. The mass of the rock will be the same on Earth. The mass of the rock will be the same on Earth, which will also mean to say that we are saying the answer is what? Is D. It is now on Mercury, which is smallest planet on the solar system. What is the mass of the rock on Earth? The mass of the rock will be the same on Earth. You understand? Which statement explains what happens when different objects are rubbed together? When we rub two objects together, what happens? One is charged positively and the other negatively. When two when two objects are rubbed together, one object is charged positively and the other is charged negatively, which we can agree to say that A can be the right answer at number 80. A plastic ruler is rubbed with a piece of cloth. The piece of cloth becomes positively charged. How does the piece of cloth acquire a positive charge? Number 9. How does the piece of paper, how does the piece of cloth become positively charged? So it has lost electrons. So what happens there is that when a ruler is wrapped with a piece of cloth, the piece of cloth becomes positively charged. How does the piece of cloth become uh, uh, how does the piece of cloth acquire a positive charge? It means that it has lost what? It has lost electrons. It has lost electrons. What are the major components necessary for an electric cell to operate? Major components necessary for an electric cell to operate. For an electric cell to operate, what are the major necessary? What are the major components necessary? Number 10, it is supposed to have what? Uh, Electric cell to operate, it must have the electrodes. It must also have the electrolyte, which means to say that B can actually means that is the best answer there. It must have an electrolyte and also the electrodes. For the dry cell to produce energy, there must be energy conversions that take place inside the cell. For the dry cell to produce energy, there must be energy conversions that take place in the cell. Start the cell and answer the questions that follows. We have got the brass cap that is shown on the cell, the insulation, the muslin bag, the paste of and then we have got the zinc as well as copper rod, which is given there by we are saying it is a dry cell that is shown. So the question is saying select the energy conversion that takes place in the dry cell. The energy conversion that takes place in the dry cell, uh, the energy conversion that takes place in the dry cell, it must happen that the chemical potential energy is converted to electrical energy, which is also correct to say that B is the right answer. B, chemical potential energy is converted to electrical energy. That is the energy conversion that takes place in the dry cell. We are given a table that shows the results obtained when the lemon cell was constructed with different electrodes. Which shows the lemon cell, which is constructed with different electrodes, potential difference delivered by each pair of metal, magnesium, we have got zinc, we have got iron, we have got copper, and then we are also having our different measurements or readings that are given there. So select a statement which explains why some metals cannot be used to construct a lemon cell. A statement which can explain why some metals cannot be used to construct a lemon cell. In terms of that, you should understand to say that we are talking about the issue of charges and stuff. So here what we are saying is that why some metals cannot be used to construct a lemon cell. It is because metals of this it is because metals of the same type will provide no potential difference between them. Metals of the same type will provide uh, no potential difference between them. Metals of the same type will provide no potential difference between them. As you can see, we are saying it is zinc, and then it goes with the zinc there. Potential difference is 0. There's next there. Magnesium also, there is 0 there. Potential difference, and so forth and so forth. So what we are saying is that some metals cannot be used to construct a lemon cell because metals of the same type will provide no potential difference between them. Metals of the same type will provide no potential difference between them. What is the SI unit of potential difference? What is the SI unit of potential difference? Number 14. You should understand that it's what volt. We are talking about voltage, which is measured in what? In volts. It is voltage which is measured in volts. One of the factors that affect resistance is the thickness of a conductor. Yes, factors that affect resistance is the thickness of a conductor. How does the thickness of the conductor affect its resistance? That is to say that the thicker the conductor, the less the resistance and the greater the current flow in it. In terms of how does the thickness of the conductor affect the resistance? Thickness of the conductor, how does it affect the resistance? The thicker the conductor, the less resistance and the greater the current flow in it. Which means to say A can be the correct answer. The picture below shows various household appliances. They all have resistors. Household appliances that have got resistors. And we have got an iron, we have got a pressure cooker, we have got a radio, we have got a jug, electric jug, and so forth and so forth. So the function of the resistors, what function do resistors perform in these appliances? What is the function of the resistor in these appliances? Actually, it actually provides useful energy transfer. The resistor actually provides useful energy transfer, like that the household appliances can actually be what they are used properly, provide useful energy transfer, which is C. Electric kettle resistors heat up the water twice as fast as the stove top kettles and automatically shut off when boiling point is reached. I'm sure that we know it shuts off when the boiling point of the water has been reached. We have got the picture of a kettle from the inside. The picture of the kettle from the inside. How does the resistor inside the kettle heat up water? So here is a kettle. It's a kettle from inside. We are saying you can see that this is a kettle from inside. So how does the resistor inside the kettle heat up water? It actually heat up the water by what? We are to understand that energy released by moving electrons to overcome resistance is transferred to the water. It actually already makes sense that the energy released by the moving electrons to overcome resistance is transferred to the water, which is what? Which is A. The battery of 7.5 volt is connected to an ammeter. The battery of 7.5 volt is connected to an ammeter, 3 identical resistors, and 3 voltmeters, as shown below. Is connected to an ammeter, 3 identical resistors, and 3 voltmeters, as shown below. The potential difference across 3 resistors is what? Is 2.5 volts. Is 3.5 volts. So we are to understand that the battery is 7.5 volts, is connected to an ammeter, 3 identical resistors, and 3 voltmeters as shown below. We can see all of them are resistors, voltmeters, and then what is the question? What is the reading on V2? The reading on V2 As you can see, we are saying V2, V2 is this one. The potential difference across is what is 2.5. So what we are saying is that the potential difference is what is 2.5. So what is happening is V2, we have got 2. So therefore the potential difference should be what? We should be 5 volts. It should be what? It should be 5 volts. As you can, it has to, I mean, it is 5 volts, which is uh letter B. The circuit diagram shows two resistors, resistor 1 and resistor 2 connected to a battery and 3 ammeters. Two resistors and connected to a battery and 3 ammeters. A1, A3 up to, I mean, A2 up to A3. The diagram actually has to help us to answer the question that is follows. We have got A1, A2, A3, and then we have got resistor 1, resistor 2, which is also shown there, and our power, which is also shown there. So how does the reading of A2 compare to the reading in A1 and A3? How does the reading in A2 compare to the reading in A1 and A3? So you should understand that it is actually A1, A2, and A3 readings are the same. They have the same readings. They have the same readings, which we can understand that D, D can actually give us the best answer. What happens to current in the circuit when electrical resistors are connected in parallel to each other? What happens to current in the circuit when identical resistors are connected to each other? The actual current divides equally between the resistors when we are saying when identical resistors are connected in parallel to each other, the current divides equally between the resistors, which is also correct to say that C is the right answer. The diagram shows two resistors connected in series to a battery with the voltmeter reading across them, which is 7 volts, and V2 is 4 volts. So the question is asking the reading on V1, the reading on V1, what is the reading on V1? We are saying V3 is 7 volts. V3, we are saying 7 volts, and V2, I mean V3 is 7 volts, V2 is 4 volts, and then V2 is equal to 4 volts. And then the question is, what is the reading on V1? It is actually the sum of the two, is it? 4 plus 2, I mean 4 plus 7, which gives us what? Which gives us 20, I mean 11 volts. V1 is equals to V3 plus V3 plus what? V3 plus V2. V3 plus V2, which is 7 plus what? Plus 4. And then we have what? We have 11. We have 11 volts. In John's birthday, party room, 25 lamps are connected in series. The room appears to be dim. Which idea should be used to improve the brightness of the party room? What idea must be used to improve the brightness of the party room? The 25 lamps are connected in series. The room appears to be dim, so in order to improve the brightness of the room, we should actually decrease the number of lamps to brighten the room. Decrease the number of lamps because they are sharing the same current. So we are saying when we reduce them, there is gonna be more light. So the answer is what? Is B. Improve the brightness of the party room, decrease the number of the number of the lamps. Natural sciences class investigates the relationship between current and the number of identical cells connected in series. The graph shows the results obtained from the investigation relationship between the current and the number of cells in series. The current and the number of cells in series, the current in amps, and also the number of cells that are there. So the question is asking like, what happens to the current when the number of cells increases? I'm sure that it is more or less similar to the same question that we're coming from there. What happens? The current increases as the number of cells. The current increases as the number of cells increases, because here we are talking about the supply of power, which they are connected in what? They are connected in the identical cells. They are actually saying between current and number of identical cells connected in series. So what happens when what happens to the current when the number of cells increases? So we are saying the number of cells from 0, there is nothing. From 2 cells, we have got the current is 1. When it is 4, when it is 4, we have got 2. When it is 6, we have got 3. When it is 8, we have got what? We have got 4. So what we are saying is that when the cells increases, it actually means that the current increases as the number of cells increases, which is actually A is correct. A is correct. We can see that from the graph. We can actually agree on the graph that it is increasing as the number of cells increases there. Why circuit breakers should be used in-house? Why circuit breakers should be used in our homes? Why should we use circuit breakers in our homes? They actually trip and break the current when there is current overload. The circuit breakers actually, they trip and break, the current when there is current overload, which is B is correct. B is correct. 26, what is energy supply grid? What is the energy supply grid? It is an energy supply grid. What is energy supply grid? It is actually an interconnected network for electricity delivery from producer to consumer. I'm sure that I once said that in one of the presentation on the notes on the channel there. It is an interconnected network for electricity delivery from producer to consumers, which is C. What is the disadvantage of South Africa's reliance on coal as the main source of energy in power stations? Problem of relying on coal as a source of energy, as the main source of energy. What is the problem with that? Actually, coal, you should understand that on the options that are given, small dust particles and poisonous gases released into the atmosphere pollute the environment. I'm sure that it can actually very correct. We are saying manufacturing use of large batteries is not very environmentally friendly. So our answer in terms of that, it is that has to do with the poisonous gases released into the atmosphere, which pollute the environment. Therefore, we can actually say A is the best answer. A is the best answer. Which component is used to change the voltage at different points in the national electricity grid? Which component is used to change the voltages at different points in the national electricity grid? Transformers are used in that regard. We use transformers. Transformers are used to change voltage. Transformer changes the voltage at different points in national electricity grid. So it is C. The advantage of using sustainable sources of energy is that they are free, renewable, clean, and have less or no waste products. Using sustainable sources of energy, they are free, they are renewable, they are clean, and they have less or no waste products. So which group of sources of energy are sustainable? Group of sources of energy that are sustainable. Which group is that? We can say we are saying they are free, renewable, clean, and less or no waste products. So which one has no waste products and it is also uh, free and renewable as well as clean? Solar power is always is correct, but here it is loses it when they talk about nuclear power. Nuclear power does not fit there. Nuclear power, obviously, the moment we talk about nuclear power, where there is nuclear power, and then we see solar, wind power, hydroelectricity. Therefore, D can be correct to say that it is a sustainable, it is also renewable, clean, and have less or no waste products. Number 30, the graph shows the use of electrical appliances in a household over a period of months. Electrical appliances versus households over a period of a month. We have got the different appliances there: air cooler, clothes dryer, electrical blanket, electric stove. All of them are given. The question is saying which electric appliance uses the most energy? Which one uses the most energy? I'm sure you can see electrical energy in power, electrical power energy in watts. So I'm saying the one that uses the most energy, you can see by the length of the graph. So I don't think we can actually have anyone who can not who can make a mistake there. That the longest bar is the one that shows the longest bar is the one that shows electrical or most electrical power consumption. So it is the electric stove. The electric stove, as you can see, it is actually having the highest bar there. That is how you get the answer. That is how you get the answer there. And then how can you describe electrical power? How can you describe electrical power? Electrical power is the rate at which electrical energy is transferred in a circuit. It's the rate at which electrical energy is transferred in a circuit, which is to say that D is sounding very correct. Picture shows some of the different types of light bulbs. We are given different pictures of light bulbs. Different pictures of light bulbs. So yeah, actually we have got the types of bulbs that are given, the L's, the lead, we have got the coil, we have got the incandescent and the halogen. So which light bulb from the picture saves more electrical energy than others? Which bulb saves the most electrical energy than others? Which bulb saves the most electrical energy than others? Which one is it? Let's see. Uh, I'm sure if you can remember in your uh, power generation and stuff, you understand that the lead LED, it is actually the one that have got uh, the the best saving capacity. Sorry, C is the one that has got the best energy saving capacity. C is the one that have got the best energy saving capacity there. For appliances, four appliances are being used for a period of 5 hours. They are the incandescent light bulbs 100 watts, the television 100 watts, electric fan 120, and these are 170. What is the total electric energy consumption? Class, when we talk about total, we are saying it is, we are just supposed to add that, and then we are supposed to add that, which you can, if you can do that, we are saying what is the total electric energy consumption. You can see that you can add all those ones, and then you get your answer in kilowatts, and then you can find out that you can get that total means 80. So what I'm saying is when you add those, you can see that you can get 2.5, 2.45, 2.45. Which sphere contains all the microorganisms, plants, and animals? The sphere that contains all the organisms, all the living microorganisms, plants, and animals. What is it? Bio means life. Therefore, we are saying in the atmosphere, we don't have plants and animals. Lithosphere, hydrosphere, we are saying we might not have all the living microorganisms. So it is the biosphere that has got this. It is the biosphere. The diagram shows interactions among spheres of the Earth. It shows interactions among spheres of the Earth. And which statement represents the correct interaction among all spheres? I'm sure if you can remember also or refer to the previous post, we have answered this question. Which one, which statement represents the correct interaction amongst all spheres? The correct interaction amongst all spheres, it is that plant draw water from the soil, release oxygen into the air. So number 35, we are saying there is the atmosphere, which we say, of course, we have got the vegetation. It actually provides transpiration, and also it receives oxygen. So what we are saying is the statement that represents the correct interaction amongst all spheres. Rain falls from clouds to form streams and rivers and evaporates back. Human built homes to modify their natural habitat. So we are saying the answer is what? Is A, which shows such an interaction that we are talking about. Which statement represents the correct activity taking place in one of the layers of the atmosphere? Activity taking place in one of the layers of the atmosphere. I'm sure there is a question that we answered again, which was asking about the layers of the atmosphere, number 36. So what happens is that uh, space shuttles orbit in the atmosphere, in the mesosphere. The aeroplanes fly in the exosphere. The metals combust in the troposphere, where the balloons fly in the stratosphere, which is D, can be the right answer there. The lithosphere is the sphere of the earth that is composed of the soil, the crust, and the upper part of the mantle. Okay. Which layer of the lithosphere is about 2,900 kilometers thick? I'm sure this, you can as well refer to our notes, and we refer also to our textbooks where we talk about the structure of the various spheres of the earth. So which layer of the lithosphere is about 2.9 kilometers thick? Number 37. If you can check, it should be the what? It is the mantle. The mantle is the one that is gonna be such big. The lithosphere is made up of solid elements and inorganic compounds called minerals. Yes. Mention one mineral which is an element that is found in the Earth's crust. An element that is found in the Earth's crust. It is what? Magnesium. Magnesium A is correct. It is magnesium which is found in the, which is an element found in the Earth's crust. Igneous rocks formed when magma cools down. Three factors play a role when igneous rock is formed. One of the factors is how quickly it cools down. Okay. One of the factors is how quickly it cools down. And which statement best describes characteristics of igneous rock formed when magma cools down? Number 39. Small crystal rock are formed and the resulting rock has a fine-grained texture. Large crystal rock, not really. Small crystal rocks are formed and the resulting rock has caused large crystal rocks are formed and are no. So we are saying it is number 39. We are saying it is actually to say that small crystal rocks, because we are talking about the fine magma that is cooling there. So small crystal rocks are formed and the resulting rock has fine-grained texture, which is a several processes can change one type of rock into another type of rock through rock cycle. What is the correct sequence of the rock cycle? The correct sequence of rock cycle, number 40, it is, of course, we start with crystallization. We talk about withering, uh, withering, erosion, sedimentation, metamorphosis, or metamorphism. So we can say that D D can actually help in that, or it can give us the best answer. Which definition explains the mechanical withering of rocks? Mechanical withering of rocks. It is actually physical withering. So which definition explains it? Which definition explains that rocks crumple into smaller particles without any change in chemical composition? That is true to say there is no chemical composition because it is what? It is physical. So it is what? It is A. A is correct. Rock crumple without a change in their chemical composition. Which gas is found in abundance in the atmosphere? In the atmosphere, which gas is found in abundance? It is the gas that is found in abundance in the atmosphere. I'm sure I remember the nitrogen cycle. You talk about the carbon dioxide and stuff. So number 42, it is what? It is actually the nitrogen. If you can check on the gas atmosphere composition, nitrogen has got the most quantity there. Which of the following are the layers of the atmosphere? You see, this question is repeating. I once answered it in the previous question that we did there. So the correct is which of the following are the layers of the atmosphere? The atmosphere, it must be. I'm saying I answered this question in the previous question paper. So what I'm saying is that if you can check this question, they are always repeating. They are always repeating. So as they repeat like that, you need to understand that having to work through question papers, we will never go wrong. We will never go wrong. So it is the troposphere, the stratosphere, mesosphere, and of course the thermosphere, where B can be correct. B can be correct. Which layer of the atmosphere has the ability to reflect radio signal back to Earth? Part of the atmosphere has the ability to reflect radio signal back to Earth. Number 44, it is what? It is the thermosphere which actually reflects the radio signal back to the Earth. How does the stratosphere support life on Earth? How does the stratosphere support life on Earth? Number 45. It has the stratosphere, it has got the ozone layer that absorbs harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So the stratosphere, it has the ozone layer that actually absorb harmful solar radiation from the sun in order to reduce the heat energy. So D is the right answer. The way through which it is actually the stratosphere helping to sustain life on Earth because of reduction in the intensity of the solar energy. How does the thermosphere benefit the Earth? Number 46. How does the thermosphere benefit the Earth? It contains enough gas molecules to absorb a significant amount of dangerous solar radiation. The thermosphere, it contains enough gas molecules to absorb a significant amount of what? Of dangerous solar radiation, which we are saying number 46 C can actually match the best answer. Number 47, illustration, answer the question that follow. The sun, some heat energy escapes into the space, gas trap some heat energy, and we have the atmosphere, the Earth's surface. Which phenomenon is represented by the above illustration? What phenomenon is represented by the above illustration? We are saying number 47. What is it that is shown? we are saying the we are saying as sunlight, it releases the earth, the solar radiation to the earth, and we have got our atmosphere there, and then we have got also gases trap some heat energy, which we need to understand that this is we are talking about the gases, the greenhouse gases, and then the phenomenon that is represented is what? The greenhouse effect. It is actually the greenhouse effect. A can be the best answer that is showing what is happening here. It is the greenhouse effect. What type of processing involve what type of processing involves crushing, heating, or filtering the ore to extract the mineral? Processing that involves crushing, heating, or filtering of the ore to extract mineral. Number 48. It is what type of processing? It is uh, uh, crushing, heating, filtering. So it is what? It is the physical process. It is the physical process. Number 48. Number 49. Lead ore is refined by heating lead oxide on a carbon block. Lead ore is refined by heating by heating lead oxide on a carbon block. What are the products of this processing? What are the products of this process? When we heat when we heat it when we heat when we heat lead oxide, what are the products of this process? Number 49. We can understand that it is lead and carbon dioxide. When heated, we are saying it should give us lead and carbon dioxide, which can give us what? A as the correct answer. Identify a compound mined in South Africa. What one is mined in South Africa? It is what? Limestone. I'm sure that we understand that the compound that is mined in South Africa, it is what? It is limestone. A blast furnace is a steel cylinder lined with refractory. The following three steps are used in the production of molten iron in the blast furnace. And then we have got ore constantly dumped into the top of the furnace. Limestone reacts with impurities inside the furnace. A blast of hot air is blown into the bottom of the furnace. Sequence. Sequence of the process of production of molten iron is the correct order of events. What is the correct order of events in that regard? We are saying we should have ore is constantly dumped into the top of the ore is constantly dumped. So we are saying this should be one. The correct order of events, it should be one. And then we have a blast of hot air is blown into the bottom of the furnace. And then number two, and then obviously limestone reacts with impurities inside the furnace is number 3. So we are saying it is 132, which is D. D 132. Mining produces large amounts of waste that is often dumped on the land. These mine dumps contain poisonous chemicals from mineral extraction processes, which contribute to air pollution and water pollution. That is very true. The mining industry has in the past implemented methods like spraying mine dumps with water and planting grass. What is the disadvantage of using this method of control? This method to control air pollution. What is the disadvantage of using that method of uh, spraying mine dumps with water? It's just to say that settling the dust. What is the disadvantage of spraying the mine dumps with water? Uh, so in terms of that, it can actually mean that the grass withers during dry season and water is absorbed or evaporates quickly. The grass withers during the grass it withers during dry season and water is absorbed or evaporates quickly is number D can be correct. That in terms of the disadvantage of the processes that are done by the mines is in terms of reclaiming or uh, mine dump reclamation. The grass, it can dry in dry season and the water is absorbed or evaporates quickly, uh, which is number 52. Number 53, iron combines with carbon to form an alloy. Yes. What is the name of the alloy formed when iron combines with what? With carbon. What alloy is formed? Number 53. We have got what? Iron combining with carbon to form an alloy. What is the name of the alloy formed? It is what? It is steel. A steel is formed. Stars spend most of their lives as in as main sequence stars, which is the most stable period in their lifetime. Nuclear fusion also takes place in this stage. Yes. Which statement defines the nuclear fusion? Number 54. It is that stars convert hydrogen to helium, which is what? Which is number C. Letter C. Star convert hydrogen to helium. Stars convert hydrogen to helium. That is correct. Number 54. And then number 56. The following occurrences are stages of the life of a star: birth, life, and death. As the temperature increases, the color changes to orange, yellow, white, and light blue. Planetary nebulae are lit up by their central white dwarf star and are beautiful objects. Dust and gas particles are pulled together by their own gravity and slowly contract. And the question is saying which sequence represents the correct stages from birth to death of a star? Which sequence represent the correct stages in the birth to death of a star? Number 55. We are saying birth, it is the dust and gas particles are put together by their own gravity, which means to say birth, it should be 3. Birth should be 3, which is 3 is correct. 3 is correct. And then life, it should be to say that as temperature increases, the color changes to orange, yellow, white, and light blue. So in life, it is supposed to be 2. So here it is wrong, and then we have got that is correct. Eventually, death, it is supposed to be what? To be 2, which is that planetary blue are lit up by their central white dwarf, and therefore our answer is what? Is C. It is C, which is actually showing the life cycle of stars. Life cycle of stars. Okay, let's just quickly move on to finish it. Grade 9 learners investigate if a bar magnet can attract paper clips through pieces of wood with different thickness as shown in the diagram. After conducting the experiment, they observed that only the thicker piece of the wood prevented the magnet from picking up paper clips. All right. Write a conclusion. Write a conclusion of their experiment based on the observation, because the observation they observed that the only thick piece of wood prevented the magnet from picking up paper clips. So what we can conclude here is that write a conclusion. We can actually say that the thicker the wood, uh, the thicker the wood, uh, the greater the distance between the magnet and the paper clips. I'm sure that we can say, because the thicker the wood, the thicker the wood, uh, the greater the distance between the magnet and the paper clips, the greater the distance uh, between the magnet and paper clips, distance between magnet and paper clips. As well, therefore, that would cause also the weaker, which resulting in weaker attraction force. Resulting in weaker attraction force. So if the wood is great, I mean, the thicker the wood, the greater the distance between the magnet and the paper clips, resulting in weaker attraction force. That is true. That is true, because they are saying uh, only thick piece of wood prevented the magnet from picking up the paper clips. So that is what we can say there. And then we can also say that maybe we can also say that the closer the magnet and the paper clips are to each other, the stronger the attraction force. Number two, I can say the closer the magnet and paper, the closer the magnet the closer the magnet and paper. We are saying the closer the magnet and paper clips are to each other, the stronger the attraction between them. The stronger the attraction. The stronger the magnet, the closer the magnet and paper clips are to each other, the stronger the attraction force. The stronger the attraction force. And then we have got the next question, which is the graph showing different conducting materials that offer resistance against electrical current. The resistance differs depending on the type of material. Of course, relationship between current and types of conductors. We have got copper, we have got nickel, we have got zinc as types of conductors there. So the question is saying, which of the three conductors has the greatest current flow? Current we just see the one with the greatest or the longest bar. Therefore, we can see that this one, it is what? It is copper. Copper has got the longest bar, hence we are saying it is the one which has got the greatest current flow. Which of the three conductors is the highest resistance? The resistance is actually shown by the one with the least current flow, which is also the one with the least current flow is the one which has got the highest resistance. So we are saying it is the what? It is the nichrome. Understand? We are saying a type of conductor. So we are saying nichrome is a type of conductor of electricity as much as it have I mean by virtue that it has got we are saying it has got the highest resistance to it, meaning to say that it would have a low current which would flow. So therefore it is copper that has got the highest current flow, and then the least current flow or the highest resistance is found in nichrome. The table shows the reading taken during the investigation of the relationship between current and potential difference as number of cells increases. I'm sure we have once talked about this one. We once calculated it and we showed it that what happens there. So the question is saying identify the type of connection in these cells. Identify the type of connection in these cells. So these cells, as you can see, we are saying ammeter reading, volt reading, and so forth. So during relation between current and potential difference is shown in the cells there. So what we are saying is that uh, why should we say what makes us to say that they are in parallel connection? It is a parallel. It is a parallel connection, and what makes us to say that is because that as the number of cells increases, the current remains the same. As the number of cells increases, the current remains the same, as you can see here. One cell, 1.5, 1.53, 1.5, and so forth. So they are in parallel because as the number of cells increases, the current remains the same. As the number of cells increases, the current remains the same. We can also talk about the potential difference also, which also shows the voltage. The potential difference also remains the same as the number of cells increased. And then number 4, calculate the cost of using 1,000 watts stove 2 hours at this, number 4, how do we calculate that? So we are saying the cost is equals to power consumption is equals to power consumption in kilowatts times time in what? In hours. Power consumption in kilowatts multiplied by time in what? In hours, multiplied by time in hours, multiplied by unit price. So this is equals to our power consumption. We are saying we have got 1,000 watts in terms of the kilowatts. It gives us 1 kilowatt We are saying multiplied by time, which is multiplied by 2 hours, and then multiplied by price per unit, multiplied by unit price, multiplied by 2, to rent per kilowatt. So when we calculate that, it can give us what? The cost is gonna give us 4 rand. It can give us 4 rand there. Refer to the picture above and discuss the interaction between the hydrosphere and the atmosphere. The interaction between the hydrosphere, interaction between the hydrosphere and the atmosphere. We can actually say that one, water, which is water vapor, condenses to form clouds. Water vapor condenses to form clouds, condenses to form clouds. And then one other thing is that when the drops which is the hydrosphere, hydrosphere becomes too heavy to be suspended by the, when we are saying when the drops becomes too heavy to be suspended, therefore as rain. When the drops, the hydrosphere becomes too heavy, actually to be suspended, therefore as rain, which we are saying the hydrosphere. So basically we are saying the thing is you need to understand the interaction between the hydrosphere and the atmosphere as in terms of we are having condensation, precipitation, infiltration, and transpiration. So we can also talk about the clouds produce rain that flows to rivers, streams, and oceans is number 2. Clouds produce rain that flows to rivers, streams, and oceans. That flows to rivers, streams, and oceans. Number 3 is also another option, or we can also say oceans absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Oceans, they do absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. That's the interaction that we are talking about of the hydrosphere and the atmosphere class. And I think the last party, uh, the acid mine drainage remains the largest problem caused by mining local mining around the world, especially where it has been ignored for too long. This has negative impact on water quality, where there are large coal mines. Explain the negative impact of acid mine drainage on water quality. The impact of it actually, we're saying the impact of acid mine drainage on water quality. I once also answered it, that one. Uh, the acid formed content is part of the water infrastructure such as bridges. Acid water is formed acid water is formed living organisms, which is animals, plants and animals, they die. Acid water is formed, which kills both plants and animals. It kills both plants and animals. And number two, you can also say that the acid rain also depletes oxygen from aquatic and then aquatic organisms die. We have got acid, it actually corrodes uh, our infrastructure. It actually corrodes our infrastructure and bridges. Number three, acid depletes oxygen, which also affect aquatic life. Acid consumes oxygen in water resources and causes water living organisms to die. So those are some of the factors that we can talk about. And thank you so much for your time. I hope that you get the best in this preparation of towards your exams. Thank you so much, and all the best. Keep on subscribing and following. Next year, grade 10, you shall see the difference. Tell others to connect and make sure that your stay and your journey of high school, it will never be difficult. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.